Okay, welcome back. We're going to do, like I said, we're going to do vertical and horizontal tables, and then after that we're going to do inline tables. Now I did a little quick shortcut here to create this file just to save a little time. All I did, right click, new, and then just put in here icon. Very simple. I don't want to replace it. They're just asking me that because I already have one here. Just put in icon. And then you'll be all set. Now inside this folder, what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing 3 times. Come down here, hit new, folder, and you're going to put in close. And then you're going to do the same thing, new folder, put in fishing, close, same thing, new folder, put in sports. So you have these 3 folders. Get rid of that one, we don't need that one. So what you're going to do, create these 3 folders, and then in each folder I just put in a bunch of pictures I found on the internet. You've got to be careful with what you take from the internet. If you're going to be doing your own store, say you're selling things, clothes, fishing equipment, sports equipment, stuff like that, what you have to do, and this is a have to do, it's not a want to do. What you're going to do is you're going to get a camera, maybe set up a little display and take pictures of your own stuff. You don't want to be going on the internet and copying pictures. I'm just using this for a demo purpose, so I should be okay. But what you want to do, like I said, is you want to get a camera and start taking pictures of your own. That way you have your own pictures. Nobody can bother you, because if you take pictures from the internet you could run into copyright infringement problems. You go to someone's web page, take a picture off it. If that picture is copyrighted or that web page is copyrighted, you could end up in court over it, and it's a really big hassle. There's probably big fines involved with copyright infringement, stuff like that. So don't do this. Don't take pictures off the internet and use them on your web page. I've checked with all of these pictures, none of them are copyrighted, so I'm okay with doing these. And like I said, I'm just using it for a demo purpose. I'm not using these pictures to sell things and make money off them. So just a brief talk about that. So what you're going to do is get your pictures, put them in your web page, upload them to your icon folder, and then what I do is once I get all the pictures in here, I created my 3 folders, and then I just dragged whatever corresponding picture went with each folder. Clothing, fishing, and sports. I just got a few demonstration pictures in there. So what we do is we have our icon folder with our folders in it. What we're going to do is we're going to drag this down and add it into my web page. Now you can do your icon folder, which I highly recommend. Do your icon, any pictures you have, any icons, stuff like that, put in this folder. Do this right from the start. Do it now while your page is still simple. You can take all those pictures and just list them on your page here, and you'll have 20 pictures coming down your page here. That's going to create a problem for you later down the road. When you have a big web page that's 50 or 60 of these files or even more, some web pages are 1,000 files and bigger. So what's going to happen is you're going to go looking for a picture. It's going to be mixed in with 100 files. You're going to have a hard time finding it. If there's something on that picture you want to change, say you're selling a type of shoe, and then all of a sudden you decide for some reason, whatever happens, you don't sell that brand of shoe anymore, so you have a new brand, so you take a picture of it, you throw it in here with the rest of them, and then you have to look through all these files to find the old one to delete it. So start right from the fresh, use your icon button, use folders inside your icon button, make everything nice and neat, make it organized right from the start, so later on down the line you're not spending 4 hours going through your whole entire web page files organizing your pictures. Really simple to start like this now. And then from that, what we're going to do is we're going to go and actually build a table. So I actually have a couple other folders We'll get to that in a minute. Let's do our page. Let's get our table started. Open with Notepad. And what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to column 1. We're going to take this out of here because we really don't need it. If you want, we can do column 1. We can do, say, H2. And you can just put in close. You can put in fishing equipment. You can put in sports equipment. Anything you want, just so you have a title. It doesn't matter what it's going to be. But under that, to do your table, what you're going to do is you're going to go table, and then width equals 100% end. Okay, you got your table, you got your width equal sign, quotation, 100% quotation, and your end. And what that's going to do, that's 100% of column 1. That's not 100% of your web page. So it's going to be 100% of column 1. And then underneath that, what you're going to do is you're going to put in here TR, and you're going to put in TD. Now the TR is, I believe, the table rows. Your TR, first tag TR, is going to start. It's going to tell your browser to start the first row. TD tells it to go across. So whatever your first thing is, if you put in 3 things underneath the TD tag, then they're going to go left to right. So we'll give you a demonstration of that. What we're going to do is TD, I'm going to say a reference, because you're referencing to another page in your My Account page. You're going to be referencing to your icon folder here. So what you're going to do is you put in a reference equals, and then you put in the reference whatever page you're going to. We're just going to put in icon / sports. Now I'm going to have to .html. Now we're going to have to make some other folders here, which I have actually created already, just to save some time. Close .html, copy. I'm just going to paste these down here for now, and then I'll go over them one at a time. Very simple, very easy to make. And sports. Paste. Now what these files are these are files that are going to go in your My Web Page file, because they're going to be links. And all this is simply just to show you the pictures. Actually, they're not going to show up because they're not in your folder yet. But just to show you the layout, let's just open them with Notebook. And very simple, we have tables inside our folders. So here we have the basic opening HTML, title, close, and your head tag, or start your head tags, I'm sorry. Your link to your style sheet, just put that in there just in case you decide to use it, and head. And then your body, same thing, table width equals 100%. And then you have TRTD, and then image, because you're using pictures, you use the image, src equals icon close 1.jpg. Now, sometimes we use the reference, like we were doing on our index page. We have our index page, and here we're using reference because we're referencing to a file, another file in our My Web Page folder. Now what we can do is we can actually copy these 3 and drag them, put them in our folder, so it makes a little more sense. Then we can open up our folder, and now we have our three folders: sports, clothing, and fishing. So what we're doing here on our index page is we are referencing to sports.html, which tells the browser to go to here, sports.html. Now, when you open this file, and this might sound a little confusing at first, but it'll make a little more sense as you practice it. It's going to tell your browser to come open this folder. Now, when it opens this folder, it's going to come to this table with 100% trtd image src equals icon sports sports1.jpg. So what this is telling the browser to do is come to this file, your clothing.html file, and then this file is telling it to go to icon, sports, and sports1.jpg, and then it opens that picture. That's how it works. You have to just write the order of the files you want to go to. Very simple. And same thing here, you have your three lists, your three pictures: sports1.jpg, sports2.jpg, sports3.jpg. And the same thing: icon sports, sports1, icon sport, sport2, icon sport, sport3. Those are the three pictures that are in your file, in your icon folder. So you're telling it to go to the icon folder, you're telling it to go to the sport folder, and then you're telling it to open sport1.jpg, and same thing. Now here, our table with 100% trtd, this tells it to go left to right, the td. tr tells it to start a new row. td starts it to go left to right. Now down here we have another td, which is going to tell it to continue left to right. So you're going to have your first picture, your second picture, another td, your third picture, left to right, 1, 2, 3, across the top. So if we come here to my folders and we click on sports and we just open this folder, there you go. The different sizes, we'll have to resize them after, but I'll show you how to do that. But here's your three pictures. Same thing, if you come to clothing, opens it, and there's your clothing pictures. So that's what you're doing when you are on your index page. You're referencing a reference icon sports.html. You're telling the browser to open up this file. Go to the icon folder and open up the sports file. Then when the file's open, and you come in here, you put your tables, and you set your folders. And now here, just to go over the tables, trtd, if I was to add td here, tr, and add tr here, what that's going to do is it's going to tell the browser, tr, new row, td, open up this picture. And then it has td here, it's going to tell the browser to come down to the second row, a new row. First row, second row, third row. So if you do it this way, you're going to have one picture, two pictures, three pictures. You take the tr off of the second two. You always need one for the first one to tell it to start the row. But then if you take these two off and you just do tds, it's going to go this way. If you add the tr, tell it new row, new row, new row, it's going to go 1, 2, 3 up and down. As you can see, when we come to that folder and we double click to open it, there you go. Now they're top to bottom instead of left to right. So that's very simple. That's an easy part of building tables. You just have to remember however you want it to go. If you want it to go left to right, you do trtd and then td, td, td all the way down, and you'll go left to right. So we're going to save this, and then we're going to go, I'm just going to show you a brief thing about the other file, the clothing file. because the clothing file we have 2 rows. There's 8 pictures, is 4 and 4. So what we do is table width 100%. Then we do TRTD to start our first row. Image, SRC, icon, close, closing 1. TD, TD, TD. Now that's going to go left to right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then at the end, what we're going to do is we do close TD and close TR. And then we come down here and we do TRTD again. And that's going to tell it to start a new row. Well, every time you put in a TR, you're going to start a new row. TR, 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 all the way down the line. And your TDs, as long as you do TRTD, you keep doing TDs, it's just going to keep adding them left to right all the way across. So what you want to do is you do your first row, and then you close it. Close TD, close TR. And again, just like your index page, where however you do your tags at the top, you do opposite at the bottom. TRTD, down here is TDTR, because you want your TD tags, opening and closing TD tags, inside your TR tags. So you want your TR on the outside, TD on the inside. And then when you come down here, you simply do TRTD again, your image, TD, 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 and TD, and TR, and table. And then when you come to open this file, that's probably already saved, but if you're down here in your web page, and you open close, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, left to right, end, NTR, actually NTD, NTR, start TR, TRTD, start again, TD, 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 and make your second row. And it will just continue on all the way down the line. So just to recap, we have our index page, which is going to use the a reference equals because you're going to another folder, sports.html. You're going to another folder in your My Web Page file. Actually, I said that backwards. Your icon file. You're referencing to this sports. This is a file that's inside your My Web Page folder. So you use the H reference. Then once you get to that folder, this file, actually, I should say, then, whoop, I didn't want to open that. Then, when you open this, you're going to use the IMG SRC image. There's your image. That might be search, image search tags. When you're actually going for the picture itself, because this is going to display the picture itself, you use your IMG SRC tags. The other one, you're going to this file, so you use your A reference tags. And very simple. It's a little confusing maybe at first, but it's pretty good once you do it a few times. You just keep practicing. You'll understand it. And like I said, I'm here to help you. We can always go to the forum. If you want to have a conversation about tables, like I said, you can copy your code. You can place it on the forum, and I can look at the code, and if there's any problems with it, I can go through it and explain it right on the forum. We can talk about it. Other students can also post their codes on the forum, and you as a student can also look at theirs, and you can go through it yourself. Maybe you can find something that they missed, or a tag, or something that they forgot to put in. We can work between me and you, student to student, all kinds of different ways we can do things. And that's pretty much how we do our tables. First thing you do, actually, I didn't want to do that, but that's okay. We'll just go from the start, my web page, your index. So what you're going to do here, is do your references first. So we're going to come down here, our header. No, actually we're doing column 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, and you're on column 1. Column 1, div class 1, and end div. So you want to make sure you stay within your column 1 tags. If you put it down here after the end div, it's not going to work. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put in a table with %, and then we're going to put in our TR TD, and then we're going to put in, we can do it from here, a reference equals, let's do close.html, and then down here we want our tags to go, we're going to do our 3 files, our references, and we want them to go from top to bottom, not left to right. We want them to go up and down, top to bottom. So what are we going to put in next? We're going to put in a TRTD or just the TD. We're going to put in TRTD because we want to tell the browser put this in one row and start a new row for the next one. So a reference equals phishing.html, and then the same thing, TRTD a reference, what was the other one, sports.html. And then you're gonna end your TDs first, and your TRs last, and then, oops, end, and then you're gonna end your table. And like we talked about, everything on the bottom is opposite. You start with your table. Let's just put a space in here so we can see what we're doing a little better. This is called a block of code. You have your div, your end div, everything in it. They call this a block of code or a block of markup language. So we have here, we have our table at the beginning and at the end. Inside our table tags we have our TD, TR tags, TD first, TD last. Our TDs are inside our TRs, and our TRTDs are inside our table. So we save this, and we come to our index page. We click refresh. No, this browser's not working. I don't know what's going on with my browsers today. They're not cooperating. Let's just reopen it. Why did that not work? Everything's right. Column 1, center, table. Okay, I just wanted to pause for a second to find out why it wasn't working. And if we go to our index page, nothing's showing up under our first column, and that's simply because we forgot to write in what we wanted to show up. We have here TRTD, a reference, our clothing file, and then in here we have to put what you want to display on the page. Close. And then also add your end reference. Add this tag at the end. Also, we didn't have that in there. And then down here we're going to put in fishing and your end tag, and here we're going to put in sport and your end tag. Now what you have here, you don't have any brackets around these words, so what that's telling the browser is that's what you're going to display on a web page, and that's what you're going to have that people are going to click on. So if you hit File and you hit Save, and then you come back over here and hit Refresh. See if my web page is working this time. There we go. Something's wrong. I don't know why the refresh button's not working on this browser, but there we go. We have our 3 listings: clothes, fishing, and sports. And if we click on these, there's your clothes, there's your fishing, and there's your sports. Now here I'll show you quickly how to resize these pictures. Sometimes you might have to do it, sometimes you won't, but all you have to do simply is minimize this, and you open the file that you want to do. We'll do sports. Make sure it's not already open. I don't want to open multiple pages. Like I said before, that could cause problems for you. And then all you want to do here is after the picture, after your .jpeg, you're just going to put in height equals, let's say 75, and width equals 75, same thing. So you want your height equals and your opening and closing tags, and width equals opening and closing tags. And just to save time, I'm just going to copy these. Copy. Put a space in there. Paste. Let's see how this works. This might be one of those things that works in certain browsers and doesn't work in others. We'll have to try it and see what happens. Alright, let's save this. Let's see if they all come out the same. What are we on? Sports, right? Where's our sports? Let's just come back to here. Let's click on sports again. Yeah, see, it doesn't display the pictures. Some browsers it will, some it won't. What we're going to have to do is we're just going to simply do it this way. And all we did is we just, instead of putting it in the brackets here, after, we just left this closed and added it to the end. Let's see how that works. Okay, it worked alright, but it didn't change anything. There you go. Now you've got them sized. And now you can go in and change the sizes. You can make them bigger. 175. 175. Alright, so we actually went back to the original way we did it. We put them all within one bracket. Your opening bracket, image, SRC, icon, sports tag, JPEG, your ending tags, and then the reason it wasn't working is because I spelled height wrong. I forgot to put the T on the end of it, so that's why it didn't actually display the pictures. Very sensitive, these codes. Everything has to be just right. And then now we have them a little bigger, the height to width, and it can be different depending on the picture. You could have 175 here, you could have 300 here if you want the width higher. And then you come back to here, and there you go, now they're bigger. And if you want, you can also go here inside your tag here, use the old center tag. Let's try this different. Let's do, instead of putting it in all of them, let's try and see if we can center the whole table. There you go, that puts it in the middle of your page. And there you go, that's how that works. You can do the same thing with your other files if you want. Add this code, the picture size to them so they're all the same size. I think the other files pretty much came out the same anyways. The clothing, those are pretty much all the same. This one's a little smaller, but you can go in and make them all the same. Same thing with your fishing, and that's how you do tables. Pretty simple. We'll have a quick refresh here. All your files that are open, we're just going to close them all for now. Your web page, start with your index page, do your table. 100%, your TR, 3 rows, TR, up and down, reference, because you're going to another file, clothing.html, and then don't forget to put your tags in here, what you want the web page to say. You could have this say anything you want, but you want it to refer to whatever files you're going to. And then once you get to those files, once you're going to actually display the picture, you're going to use your TRTD, TDTD left to right, and use your IMG SRC equals. And then your folders, follow your folders, icon, sport 1, your height and width, and then that's it. There you go. That's your tables, vertical and horizontal tables. The next video, what we're going to do is we're going to do an inline, which we talked about on the web page that's up in the header, where they have the header, their pictures, whatever they want, and then they had those links across the bottom that you could click on that I showed you. That's called inline. You can do them as a table, a vertical table, if you want, or actually that would be a horizontal table, but I'll show you another way. It's a little easier. You can do a little more styling with it the way I'm doing, and it looks good. So give me a minute, take a break, and I'll see you in the next video.